My name's David. I'll be your MC for about the next half hour, 45 minutes, or however long Pete can keep us entertained. But you guys help me welcome an absolute superstar at the State Fair of Texas, who has helped in several different ways I'm sure we'll touch on. Just an all-around cool cat, Chef Pete Nolasco.
Hi. Hello, can y'all hear me? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yeah, thank you very much, okay? Y'all having a good time? Yeah. Is your team winning? Yeah. Is your team losing? Yeah. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to try to make this very quick and painless. I want to make sure that you guys see something maybe a little different, something a little new. How you doing? I'm Chef Pete. Right. Hey, how you doing? How are you? How you guys doing?
Hi.
Thank you for coming by, and I hope you guys, and you've been back many years now, haven't you? Larry, right?
Larry has his own.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How are you? Thank you, everybody, for coming in, and thanks for sitting down. A lot of times, you walk past and you don't want to sit down. That's okay. Y'all come on over, have a seat. Y'all hungry? We got plenty of food. We're going to serve you in a minute, but you got to be in here sitting down, so come on over. Come on over. Welcome. I'm from Irving. Yeah, Irving, Texas. Yeah. Yeah, I used to, right down the street from the Dallas Cowboys, used to be the home of the Dallas Cowboys over there on Irving Boulevard. And as a boy, I grew up in my mother's kitchen. I grew up in a Hispanic kitchen, making tortillas, rice and beans, salsa. And, we didn't have much money, we didn't. Mom used to give us tortilla dough to play with. So I'd put it in my pocket, and I'd keep it in my pocket. And my little sister, which is over there in the back, say hello to Toy. Toy, that's a real name, Toy, you believe that? I used to give her a hard time about that. But I would pull out that little piece of tortilla dough, and Toy say, "Can you make a monkey?" And she'd give me 30 seconds, and I'd try to make a monkey out of my tortilla dough. And we'd play like that, but for real, it actually helped me because now I'm really good at marzipan and with sculpting. So for those of you who have children and you notice that they love to do certain things, encourage them, because you never know where they may lead you. And it's really helped me out a lot with certain teams that I'm on, like Epicurean World Master Chef Society. I'm also the membership chairman for the Texas Chef Association. Any chefs here today? Okay, any associate members, like you sell food to chefs, you're more than welcome to contact me at chefpete.com. Now I get $1 for every time I say that, okay? So I'm gonna try to say that at least $10 because I gotta buy a couple corn dogs. Today I'm going to be making something that my mother taught me how to make as a little boy. She used to love to make caldos. A caldo is a soup. It's like a stock, usually a clear broth stock. Perfect for a chilly day. We're about to have a few, I hope, here pretty soon. It's so humid today. But I really wanted to do something that you can make in your house, something simple to make. And if you follow a few basic rules, you will have a very tasty soup. So you guys ready to learn? Yeah. All right, let's do this.
If you guys have any questions for him throughout, just raise your hand. It's a little hard to hear up here, so let's get the microphone to you before you ask. But again, we encourage your participation.
Mr. Pippin, thank you for being here and for helping me with this.
Thank you for coming back.
Mr. Pippin is first year with us, and I want to say from me to you, you've helped me out a lot already, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. We also have Brad here from Channel 3 Productions. He's going to be filming this, so hopefully y'all are okay. Nobody here is wanted. If you are, please leave, because your video may be on my website. And what's my website? Thank you. That's $2 right there. We're doing good. Okay. Here's the reason I wanted to do soup. Soup in so many different ways is healthy, It's a comfort food. And raise your hand if you cook. Good. I'm going to do this a lot. I want your participation. I want to hear from you because I want to find out where I am with this, okay? If we need to change this a little bit, we will, because this is freestyle. In other words, I have all these ingredients here and I have no idea what I'm doing. So we're just going to have fun, right? Just like in your kitchen, that's what you do sometimes, right? You go in your kitchen, you look, oh, what do I have? And then you end up coming out with something very delicious, right? Well, that's what we're going to try to do today. You know, I remember my mother's soup. Do you remember your mother's soup? Raise your hand. Was it chicken? Was it chicken soup? Was it beef soup? What? Pork. Oh, nice. See, I remember that chicken soup being so healthy for you and feeling so good. Nowadays, there's so many different places you can go to have a great bowl of soup. Have you seen those Asian restaurants that have P-H-O pronounced? That's right, pho. Now, they have different styles of this Vietnamese soup. They have the chicken, the pork, the beef, the brisket. They have the meatballs. They have all different flavors. If you've never been into one of those restaurants, don't be afraid. Go in there. And even if you just ask for something basic, I think you'll go out of there feeling good, feeling healthy. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my corn dogs. I love my chicken fried steaks, mashed potatoes and gravy. I love that kind of fried food. I really do. Chicken wings, oh man, don't get me started. But when you eat a good bowl of soup, don't you feel good? Don't you feel healthy? Well, nowadays, everybody's looking to make something healthy. Now, here's a few rules that I was talking to you about, okay? First of all, raise your hand again. If you cook, raise your hand. Great, okay. Now, raise your hand if you watch the Food Network. Good, good, fantastic. Now, raise your hand if you've ever seen something like this before, a demo, food demo. Good, good, fantastic. Oh, very good. Well, since you've seen something like this, I'm not as good as to be on the Food Network, but at the same time, I love to cook. And for you, if you love to cook, you just raise your hand that you love to cook, then chances are you're gonna make something delicious, okay? And these few techniques that I'm gonna tell you and share with you about will really help you make a wonderful chicken soup. Okay, now you've seen those whole fryers, those whole chickens in your store, right? They're all wrapped up nice and tight. At Sam's, they sell them by the 2-pack. At Kroger's, Albertsons, they sell them by the 1-pack, right? $5, $6, something like that, $4, depends. Don't be afraid of those. Take one of those, open it up, get it out of the packaging. First thing you do is you do want to rinse it off. But remember, salmonella is a bacteria that you can get from raw chicken. So when you wash that chicken off, you want to make sure that you get it down in the bottom of the sink, and that's where you open your package, okay? And if you're wearing an apron, well, once you're done rinsing this chicken off, you want to get rid of that apron, throw it in the wash, get you something fresh, wash your hands, wash the area that you're, sanitize, maybe a little bit of bleach, because you don't want to infect your family. The last thing you want to do is get somebody sick, right? Come on, it's supposed to be healthy cooking. We're supposed to have a good time with this. Well, once you rinse your chicken off, go ahead and pop it in a pot. Now, what kind of pot do you use? Well, there's so many different types of pots. This is, actually, this is my menudo pot or my tamale pot. I love tamales. You love tamales? Oh yeah, it's almost that time, right? Would you like to buy some tamales? Guess where you can buy them. Thank you so much. So you get you a big pot like this, and then you go ahead and put your chickens in it, maybe a little smaller if you wanted to. Cover it with water, then you bring it to a boil. Easy enough, right? Just water. And then guess what you do? Throw it away. Not the chicken, the water. Why? Well, chicken has a lot of impurities. It has a lot of trash on it. So if you bring it to a good boil, what happens? You're gonna see a lot of stuff floating on top, right? You've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. That's called a raft in culinary terms. When it forms that raft on top, that's actually trash. You wanna get rid of that, you don't wanna eat that. So have you made your soup and used the first stock? Wow. Oh my goodness.
Someone's gonna tell you that.
Yeah. So Now you're gonna try the same soup, but you're gonna do one thing that you tried it. Look at your face. Ma'am, you get a jalapeno pepper. Poor girl. Once you boil your chicken, you throw that stock away. It's not even stock, it's more like scum water. Rinse your chicken again. Then you don't have to change up too much that second time because it's already been cooked, just to let you know. And then you put it back on the stove, cover it with water. Now the second time around, guess what? That's your stock. Now once it comes to a boil, you want to bring it down. Why? Well, because you don't want your stock to come to a heavy boil and stay there. You know why? Because all that trash actually gets into the stock and it makes it cloudy. Now, but if you were to bring it to a boil and then bring it down to a simmer, at what temperature does water boil? 212 what? Fahrenheit. Very good, young man. You've been listening, haven't you? Now, he comes to every one of these. Thank you very much for coming out again. It simmers at about 180 degrees. Now, you do not have to have a thermometer to know when it simmers. You really want to look at the edge. Can you see my hand? Can you see the soup, the stock? You really want to see it bubbling on the sides and not really in the center. You do want to bring it up to a boil, but then you want to bring it down to a simmer. No problem, right? At that time, you can, after a little bit, you can take your chicken out. You can pull it, like I've done here. You've seen those chickens in your grocery store that are already cooked. They're called roasted chickens, rotisserie chickens. Maybe you go to the store and you get, you had some of this before, you go over there to that Boston market. You always have a little leftover sometimes, 1 or 2 pieces. Well, chicken's good cold, don't get me wrong. But what if you pull that meat, okay, and you saved it? This is what this is. This is rotisserie chicken, just pulled. And then what do you do with the bones? Well, instead of throwing away the bones, you use that into your stock. That's what we're having today. This stock is not made from raw bones. It's made from rotisserie. So you're gonna get to try something that's, have you made it before? Raise your hand. Oh, fantastic. Just a couple people, so fantastic, thank you. So just a couple people, so this will be very unique flavor because it does change the flavor. You know the inside of the bone, somebody was telling me the other day they love beef more than chicken because there's more flavor. Well, where does that flavor come from? If you were to take your bone and look at it, and look at the bone, let's say that this is the bone. In the middle of the bone, what's that called? Marrow, that's right. That's what actually produces the bone. That's where your flavor comes from. So if you were to break your bones and throw them in, that's actually even better. So that that flavor can immerse, can come out into the stock, into the soup. Now, beef bones, of course, are a lot larger, so they have a larger marrow. Chicken bones are a lot smaller. So 2 things. Since you have a larger bone, the larger the bone, the longer you need to simmer it. Makes sense, right? Because you want to get that flavor out of there. The smaller the bone, the smaller amount of time. So that means that fish bones, which are very thin, right? I'm talking like a fish like a snapper or whatever with a smaller bone. That takes a lot less time. 30 minutes and you're done. Chicken stock, maybe an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and you're done. Maybe an hour and a half if you want. And then beef bones, you can go 4 or 6 hours, depending on the size of your meat, your bones, okay? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, you can do it in a crock pot. Now, if you do it in a crock pot, I would recommend that you boil your chicken first, throw that stock away, rinse it off, and then your second time around, that's when you do it in your crock pot. Now, if you're doing it in a crock pot, at that time, you would also add your celery, carrots, and onions. It's like a mirepoix. Now, in Cajun cooking, you see the mirepoix with the bell pepper. Well, celery, carrots, and onions you add to your stock as well. Makes a great soup. Okay, you ready to move on? Okay, so can you see my hand? Now, look what it's starting to do now. It's starting to simmer around the edges. And in here, not only do I have celery, carrots, and onions, but also have jalapeno peppers. Mom used to make her soup, and she made it a little spicy. And I love that about her soup, that it had that little bite in it, that little something in the back of your throat. Y'all like that? Oh, me too. I love it. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a nice little stock with a little bite in the back of our throat. Now, growing up here in Texas, you have chicken noodle soup, right? Yeah, right, you had that, right? So that was made with noodles or with pasta. Don't be afraid to use a different type of pasta. This is like a, you could use a tricolor or a 3 different color. This is a rotini, but you could use a farfalle or fusilli, a penne, all different shapes and sizes. They make it great, but I recommend that you use something that fits onto your spoon because you're gonna put it in your mouth, right? You don't wanna use something too long, and then of course it's gonna be hard to pick it up like spaghetti noodles, right? I wanted to bring those to show. Okay, so we have chicken, bones, water to cover, celery, carrots, and onions. And next I'm gonna introduce you to somebody. This is Miss Mallory, my sous chef. Miss Mallory's here from where were you born? Gainesville, Texas? Gainesville, Texas. Anybody here from Gainesville, Texas? You? Home of Taco Casa? Yes? Oh, you like Taco Casa, good. Got a Taco Casa lover over here. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna strain it. This is called a China cap. Any idea why? They have another one, it's a little finer. It's a finer mesh. That one's called a chinois. But with the China cap, Miss Mal, can you give me a couple more napkins, a couple more towels, please? Now this has already been simmering. We already have some good flavor into it, so I'm able to do this already. I'm just trying to bring it back up to a boil. And what we're gonna do is to remove our stock. Let me see if I can do this without making too much of a mess.
I'll make a mess, it's okay.
Okay. Good, stand back. Thank you. All right, here we go. Am I making a mess? Yeah, could you bring that other container? All right. How many people do we have here? How much do we need to make? Y'all good at conversions? Lots, make lots? Okay. I want y'all to get everybody here to get some of this, okay? Okay, very good. Right in the back seat, please. Now your bones, can you reuse them? Absolutely. Why not? That's called a second wash. Get this thing to work.
Is there a trick to doing the second wash to getting the same flavor profile out of it? Or is it just gonna be a little lighter, for lack of a better?
Reduction. By using that second wash and reducing it down, then you're gonna get a pretty good flavor. Not quite as good as the first wash, of course, but you just have to reduce it. And by reducing it, I just mean just simmer it a little longer, and you'll be good. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so here we are, empty pot. I'm gonna take this stock now, pour it back into this. Oh yeah. Do y'all see the color that's coming out? I'm gonna lift it up a little higher so you can see the color. Y'all see that color? It's not clear. It's got a little cloudiness to it. That's because we're using the roasted bones. But at the same time, you can see that it's got a lot of flavor. You can just tell. Can you smell it? Can y'all smell it over there in the back?
I can.
Nice.
I have a question for you, Pete.
Thank you, chef. No. And the reason why, that's a very good question, by the way. Could you hand this to her, please? Thank you. That's a very good question. Take the plastic off and pop this in the oven, please. Do the same thing. Bread in here and pop it in the oven. I already got it going. Yeah, very good question. Well, the reason why I don't is because you can always add salt and seasoning towards the end, right? It's very hard to remove it. To add it is no problem. So it's always best to add your salt, if you can, maybe a little during the cooking process, so you're adding a little bit of love along the way. But nowadays, almost everything that you add to this will have a little bit of salt in it. So let's talk about that right now. So far we have a nice stock, we're bringing it up to a boil. Let's add a flavoring agent to it. In other words, we want to add some kind of flavor, not overpowering. In this case, we're using chicken, right? So here's what I'd recommend, maybe a chicken base. Now, there's all different kinds of chicken base. The ones you don't want are the ones that have a lot of salt, because these things can be very salty. And you don't want to overdo it. This is a flavor enhancer. In other words, you already have flavor, you're just adding to it a little bit. So we're gonna take this, it smells good. Add a touch of, do we have spoons here, Mr. Pippin? Here we go, here we go. Wow, look at that, not very much, right? Usually add a lot more, yes ma'am. Got this at Sam's. I would give this to you, but it's already used. You don't want something used.
We could ask this a little bit. What about bouillon?
Man, so much salt. So much salt. Growing up, Mom sometimes did that, but she just added 1 or 2 to an already flavored, and that's okay. But if you're trying to keep down your salt content, yeah, you don't want to try to do that. Here's another thing I want to show you guys. Have y'all seen this? Who said that? Yes, ma'am. Sazon. Say it with me. You said it. Sazon. It's fun to say. It's fun to say it right. One more time. Sazon. That's right. Now you're going to remember it. Sazon is another flavoring agent that you can add to it, but if you look on the back, it has MSG, monosodium glutamate. Who has allergic reactions or gets headaches? Yeah, a lot of Asian restaurants, you do, ma'am? We're not going to add it. Don't worry. A lot of restaurants will use this, mostly Asian restaurants, and they're getting away from doing that because so many people now have that reaction to MSG. So let's keep it natural. We've added a little bit of chicken base to it. Let's go ahead and add some garlic. Y'all like garlic? Now, do you buy your garlic already chopped up in the store? Oh, yeah, go ahead and buy the whole clove. You know what's really good? Elephant garlic. Have y'all seen that? Don't be afraid of that garlic. I know it's really big, but don't be afraid of it. All you do is you take that garlic and you peel it the same way, put it in a food processor, and it's a lot easier than peeling every little piece of garlic or even taking it and crunching it with your knife. You take that big elephant garlic, you peel one, oh my goodness, that's plenty. And I recommend that you just chop enough for what you need of that day. Maybe the next day, but that's it. You don't want to do too much to it. Okay, let's add something else, huh? Now the rice. Now, I'm adding rice a little early to this because I want it to soften up. Okay, this is day-old rice. Do you throw away your day-old rice? Yeah, a lot of people do. Because why? It gets real hard. You know, in the Chinese food, when you order Chinese food, the next day it's always really tough. We'll go back here. And that rice is just no good anymore. Well, how about using it like this? Once you put it in the liquid, it'll become very tender and it'll expand because rice is like a little sponge. So it'll absorb and it'll pick up whatever flavor you have in here. Easy enough? Now, would you add pasta to this? Sure, why not? But in this case, since we're doing arroz con pollo or chicken and rice, we're not going to add any pasta. How about some chicken? Remember that pulled chicken I told you about? Make sure that you take off the bones and any fat. And we're gonna add all that chicken to that as well. Wonderful. Easy, right? You can do that, right? Okay, let's move to our next step. What if you want vegetables? We talked about celery, carrots, and onions when we're making the stock. How about now when we're eating the soup? Here's what I've done. I've taken some vegetables, zucchini, squash, green beans, and carrots. Can y'all see that? Zucchini, squash, green beans, and carrots. And the zucchini and squash, I've done what they call julienne. There's a special machine called, well, it's a little tool. It's called a mandolin. And it takes that vegetable and slices it real nice and fine. Y'all use that before? Mandolin? Yes, good. Just watch your fingers, right? Now we're adding the vegetables to it. Wow, look at that. Automatically we have a nice stock to it. Now, there's a soup that you guys have heard of. You probably tried it before. Tortilla soup, right? Good. Well, here's a way that you can make tortilla soup the same way we're doing here. But what you do is you take your white tortillas and you soak them in milk. Yeah, soak them in milk. And then you blend it. You take a hand food blender, what do you call these? Immersion blender. Do you guys have one of these? No? Oh, you should get one. Absolutely. Soak your tortillas in milk, and then you blend them when they become soft. Automatically, you have a thickening agent. Can you name? Anybody name another thickening agent? Who said that? Good. Let's name another. That's an easy one. Come on. Flour. Good. What? Mashed potatoes. Absolutely. What? Pasta. Yes. Another one. Bread. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. Now, in the medieval times, they would use breadcrumbs. Sometimes they would use blood to thicken their soups or their stocks. Crazy, right? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever had blood sausage? Yeah, that's what it is. The blood helps thicken that up, and it's got that taste of the iron. But you just want to thicken it up with either a cooked flour and butter or a cornstarch. But in this case, you would use a tortilla. Now, there's a healthier tortilla out there. I got to tell you about Ezekiel tortilla. Have y'all heard of these? You find them in the Whole Foods Market, Central Market. Don't be afraid to buy these. There's no flour in it. It is made like the Bible says you're supposed to make bread. Ezekiel 4:19, I believe it is. It's on here someplace. But it's said to be a very healthy tortilla. Okay? I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just trying to tell you it's a very healthy tortilla. They also make bread. So check it out, okay? So we have our vegetables. We have our rice. Why don't we add a little bit of lemon juice to this? Oh, we'll go with it. Okay, so we got a lemon flavor now to it, right? Can you imagine how it's tasting right now? Okay, how about if we add a little bit of jalapeno juice? Okay or no? Okay, here we go. Too much? All right, let's go with it. Jalapeno juice. Now, automatically, you've got a flavor in it of lemon, a little heat. Can you imagine on a cold day how wonderful this soup's gonna taste? Wow. And so far, it's pretty easy to make, right? Can y'all see what that looks like? Wow, that looks really good. Actually, I might try some of that. Now you can make it spicy. There's a couple of hot sauces that I recommend. And today, whenever you try your soup, you're more than welcome to put some of this hot sauce on it to make it very spicy. How many here love hot food? You do, young man? Everybody? A lot of people? Good. How many like really hot food? You young man in the back, come on over here. Can you give me a toothpick? Just a toothpick. Not much.
I love hot spicy food.
Are you okay? What's your name, young man?
Isaac.
Shake. Chef, shake with the elbow.
Shake.
Turn around. This is Isaac, everybody. Now, Isaac, I have a test for you. I mean, you say you like spicy food.
Yes, I love spicy
You
food.
love spicy food,
I
not just
love
like
spicy
spicy food.
food.
Okay, well, I'm
love
going to challenge you. If you're okay with this challenge,
Challenge me.
if you're okay with the challenge, then I'm going to challenge you. Take one toothpick, and a matter of fact, I'll do the same thing. You take one, and I'll take one, just because. Okay. Now, Isaac, I'm going to show you a hot sauce here that y'all can find on the internet. It's called Satan's Blood.
All right, I'm down. I'm ready.
This is made, have y'all heard of this? Have you ever heard of Satan? You know he's bad. Okay, can you imagine how bad his blood is? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's bad. Now this is great for Halloween if you're making your chili and you really want to add something special to it. Now, don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid.
You'll
No,
live.
I'm not
Okay.
afraid at all.
All right, let me open this up. If you drop it on the ground, we'll have to clear out of here. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's open now. Now, it's called
Let me smell it.
don't drop it, please. It's called a toothpick test because all you have to do is just dip the end of your toothpick just to touch the Satan's blood. Okay, hold on. That's it. One more than that. Now let me do the same thing. This is made from reduced ghost pepper chilies. Salud. Good luck.
Ooh.
Thank you. Can I get some water over here, please? You all right? Thank you very much. Hold on. Come back over here. I want to give you this bag.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got it. Hold on, Isaac. You deserve more than that. Come on back over here. Come on, Isaac. Come on back. You deserve more than that. Here you go.
Oh,
I don't believe it.
It's burning.
You okay?
You got a beer for me? You got a beer for me?
Yeah. I'll buy you a beer in a little bit. Oh, woo, good luck. Don't worry, you'll be okay. You all right? Give me a minute. Whew. Okay, no matter how hot you want to make your soup, you can add different. You okay back there? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. I really did. No matter how hot you want to make, you okay? No matter how hot you want to do it, you'll be able to add some of this to your stock. Yes, sir. Where can I find that? Online. Just search Satan's Blood and you should be able to find it. There's not much hot sauce out there like this. Okay, then we can add cheese to it. How much time do we have?
As long as you want, my man.
Okay,
You're an active audience.
thank you. Could you make sure he gets a cup? Come on over here, Isaac. Come on, you deserve this. Oh my goodness. Woo! Thank you. Do we have any tasting spoons? Can you imagine in the wintertime, you're making a nice soup and you add some of that to it? Oh my goodness. Wow. Am I sweating? Ooh. I'm awake. Okay, here we go. It's important to taste your soup as you go, and you do not double dip. One time only, please. Come on over, ladies. Grab your spoon. When you take a trip, right? First, you got to realize where you're going, right? Then you got to realize how you're going to get there. And then last but not least, what you're going to take with you. It's just like making a dish. Along the way, you need to check yourself. How is it, ladies? That's fine. Okay. She said I need some salt, which is good because you can always add salt towards the end. Now, what kind of salt do I like? I like kosher salt. Why? Look at this. Can you see it? Even from the back row, can you see the salt? That means that you can control your salt. Are you okay? You can control your salt a little better. Okay? So by adding kosher salt, you can not only control, but since it's a larger grain, you're going to get a lot more flavor out of it. We're also going to add another flavoring agent since we're adding something else to it. A little bit of chili powder. Good, huh? Not that much, just a little for color. Wow, look at that. That soup's looking good. We're almost done, really. I mean, quick. How long has it been? Wow, that's really good. Now, can you come over and make sure these hot sauces are opened up so in case somebody wants to try it out? Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to put the Satan's Blood out there. Ooh, oh, cheese, yes, absolutely. Let's get a little tongs out here for the cheese. I think one of the best ways we can do is just serve it up right here and you guys just go for it. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am. Ooh, I'm still burning. How many turkeys do I use when I take to a picnic? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Say it again. Thickener. How many? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you very well. Yeah, tortillas, yeah. You really want to just, that's a good question. I don't know, play with it. Have you noticed I've given you any measurements today? No. Is your kitchen the same as my kitchen? No. Is your ingredients the same as my ingredients here today? No. We're just like we're at home. We just have a bunch of stuff and we're putting it together and hopefully it'll taste delicious. Now remember, you imagine your flavors in your mouth, in your mind, and yes, you'll make it taste delicious. So test it out, try it out, you tell me. And you can contact me at Chef Pete at chefpete.com. Oh, that's good.
I think that's something that, it sounds simplistic, but I think that's the best advice I've heard come from the stage is just taste your food. Just taste it as you're cooking and go with what you want.
Absolutely, David, that's a real good point. Now you have these spoons in your house right now. You got a drawer full of them, don't you? You go to someplace out to go eat and you always have these extra spoons, save them. Okay, we ready to start dishing up?